they deserve because they were WCW, but they had the most tag team title wins in WCW, along with Sister Sherry.
Sorry,
bear
guys,
with us. We're trying to set up YouTube at the same time. Get your hand out of the way. And the other thing we wanted to mention is obviously there's this whole big thing going on right now in regards to Kofi Kingston. So many of us are like hoping that he actually wins the championship bout. As he said, it's been 11 years. Blood, sweat, and tears, and fake accents for WWE.
Very true.
So we wanted to like address that issue because it's brought up a race issue. Let's be perfectly honest, that is running rampant through a lot of wrestling groups right now, including this one. Hey, Sean, you're supposed to be working. Get back to work. Oh my God. What it then does is, actually, we've got like the coalition of colors going on here. So we can all speak from a certain viewpoints.
WCW, they actually did it. They did it one time.
Mm-hmm.
But we're on about WWE as it is, say, in the past 20 years.
I think they've done it in any other organization like WCW.
Yeah, in the past.
But TNA had done it.
Oh, Bobby
and
Lashley.
Ring of Honor had done it.
But yeah, Bobby Lashley was champion in TNA. I forgot about that. Who was the champion? Oh yeah, Jay Lethal.
Okay, the past 20, let's be honest, the WWE, and even when you go back before then to WWF time, I hate to say it, it's a very white male dominated show. They want this is my opinion, okay? You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. You can tell me if I'm out of line completely. Is that a cop out there?
Going down the street.
Okay. Because sorry, I can see the flashing light. They want, Vince McMahon always seems to want their typical American boy holding a title.
Muscle type guys.
Yeah, the chiseled look, the chiseled body, the perfect features. This is my viewpoint. Shut. Oh, I hit you with a spatula. The chiseled features and their all-American boy look. That is my view. And it seems that anybody who had a slightly offish appearance to there or a little different skin tone, shall we say, there's an issue. What it also appears is that, a lot of people who, how should I put this? Without saying Trump supporters, because not all of them are, will argue over who has held belts. But as we were talking earlier, the belt situation where you had Booker T, Ron Simmons, The Rock, who actually goes more on his Hawaiian and Samoan heritage than he ever does with the black side of his family, is that the only way we can describe it is like, it's like when you're in the Olympics when you've got the gold, silver, and bronze. Those wrestlers always got what is the equivalent of, say, the silver medal. They never attained to that higher, what you want to say is the ultimate championship belt to get.
Right.
They've come close. They've been in a lot of matches. And I know that there were matches where, God damn it, that person should have freaking won. But they don't. And Kofi put it perfectly tonight when he said to Vince McMahon in the ring, you don't want to see someone like me holding the title.
Mm-hmm.
Because that, to me, is saying he's well aware. I mean, let's be honest. It's no secret that Vince McMahon has racial tendencies. Look at who he hangs out with.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if you hang out with racist people, part of it is because you hold those same views. I'm not saying completely, but all I can say is look at the circle of friends that we have. Our circle of friends is like the freaking United Nation of colored skin.
Right.
Seriously, you've got it here. We've got from Casper White. We ain't gonna beat around the bush. Yes, I have an English accent. The person who is making his little comments in the corner says, I'm not white, I'm English. These two say, I'm not white, I'm English. But before I open my mouth and you look at us, I am Casper White. I am not Seamus White. I'm like a couple of shades up there. But then Mike is mixed race.
Mhm.
You're 2 steps away from burnt toast.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah, I can get away with saying that to him, to be perfectly honest. But the whole point is that in the whole scheme of things is that, to me, a lot of people who you attract in your life shares very similar views to what you do.
Exactly.
And so you know damn well that just purely based on the titles that African men have held within WWE, that Vince does have an issue with race. Yes, The Rock held a title, but The Rock has pushed his Samoan side for years. Not saying he isn't proud of the black side of him, but he identifies more with his Samoan side. And let's be perfectly honest, when it comes to wrestling, there aren't many Samoan people in the wrestling business. So you can understand him more wanting to bring that to the forefront.
Well, it's like 4 of them now.
Yeah. But if you think when The Rock first started, it was very slim pickings. Yeah, you've got the likes of Booker T, but Booker T never held the top ranking belt.
Right.
Ron Simmons never held the top ranking belt.
He did in WCW.
We're on about WWE. We're not talking about WCW. We're talking about WWE of now and WWF. I know WCW became part of the whole thing. But we're talking about Vince operated, ran, ownership, in charge, has a sweaty balls in everybody's business.
Although it seems like his dad, I wouldn't say is like any better or anything like that. He let like an Italian guy hold the championship for like 3-4 years. So it's not like about his dad or anything like that.
But was he white?
When was the last time you seen a black Italian?
I don't know who you're talking about.
No,
You
San
gotta-
Martino. I'm sorry.
Okay,
talking
thank
about.
you. You can't just throw stuff out there. You know that because of how things are in Europe, that wrestling-wise, we saw pay-per-views, and if we were lucky, wrestling would come on Sunday nights very, very late.
I know
So
who
you
you're
have
referring
to
though.
you have to break it down. Not everybody knows who you are talking about. You got to also remember there's babies watching
Mm.
who don't know. So you're going to have to name names. Throwing stuff out there just like that doesn't help, because you could throw out there that Kofi's Jamaican.
Yeah, I get your point.
Thank you.
But yeah, have somebody like Bruno San Martino hold it for like, I think it was like 3-4 years or something like that. It could have been longer than that. But we're not talking about his dad, but it's like Vince McMahon Jr. But anyways. Moving on. But it just sucks that you don't have that. Like, how many like color people like black? I'm not saying like Mexican or anything like that.
Talking about African American men.
Or African in general.
Yeah, we are talking about really good black male athletes. Take out of this entertainment superstar business, because in order to, let's be honest, you both have been in a ring. You have to be in shape to work that ring. Let's be honest, right?
Right.
We're on about black men. I'm in my element right now. As Sean has pointed out. But there hasn't been Kofi is getting this push, and I really hope that he holds that title.
Right.
And hold on, and holds it.
Right. None of these 1 month reigns or
Yeah.
even 2 months or just a couple of months.
Right.
At least 6 months to a year. He should hold it.
If he gets it, I want to see him hold it through SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I want him to main event at SummerSlam as well as at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And I can honestly say they are going to do a huge injustice to wrestling if they don't let him have it. Because you've got to look at not just the wrestling side of things. Look how the political climate is right now. We've got this Make America Great Again. Okay?
The Orange Avenger.
Okay. No offense.
That was a good one, Orange Avenger.
Okay. I will agree. We do need to make America great again. But not how Trump wants it. Not how his supporters want it. We want to make it great again by having strong black men and black women in positions where you've got kids who are growing up now can look up to them and say, I want to be like Kofi Kingston. Lord knows I detest Sasha Banks. But to look up to her and say, I want to be like her. You know what I mean? And we don't have that right now. We seriously don't have it. The closest we have in sports to that is basketball stars and certain football stars. But we need to transcend that into wrestling. We seriously do.
Exactly.
Make wrestling great again. Oh, that'd be awesome.
NWGA.
NWGA.
A hero.
That'd be a good one. But also with we talk about like other races too, like because there's other races that had it, and the problem is they only had like a short reign as well. And it's like they didn't have a long reign like Bruno Sammartino had. Or I don't even know if I can pronounce Hulk Hogan Black because he got like a weird last name.
Huh?
Oh, he is. Do you know like his real name?
Who?
Hulk Hogan.
Yes. Terry Bollea.
Yeah, don't that sound like that? It's a non-white name.
Kinda, yeah.
So I'm not saying I don't know if he's like could be mixed with something, or he was like another race, but I don't know. Just want to point something out there.
When is it at?
Yeah, I'm trying to work out. We got on to Hulk Hogan too.
Okay, but like I'm glad that like the last decade you had like different types of race like was holding the main title and all that other stuff, but like Hazel said, it's like a white male dominant brand,
It is.
and you see the likes of Impact Wrestling, the likes of Ring of Honor, the likes of New Japan Pro Wrestling. But then again,
Okay.
Dana
Hulk Hogan is French, Italian, Romanian, and Scottish. So he's European, but he's like more what they call Nordic. But carry on. What?
I'll draw a blank for a second. Okay, but like you seen like for the past and stuff like that, decades and things like that, you saw like different races and different ethnic and different cultures finally hold it, but not an African American. We're not talking about because we know we have like other people that win other titles, like first African American champion that's been Intercontinental champion, I should say, Ahmed Johnson. And you have, I think Rocky Johnson, I forgot what his other partner is, was the first black tag team champions, and that was in the 80s.
Yeah, and I'll say this: Vince does seem to like having. Obviously, we've got Kofi and his lot who held the tag team champions,
Exactly.
but you know what I'm saying. Hold on, I gotta look up here. Keep talking.
Again, you got also, of course, I'm gonna add The Rock in there too. Although, like I say, he's half black. You got Shelton Benjamin, that's had hold the United States title and Intercontinental champion and a tag team champion, but the guy is so good. He never once get to hold the big one, and I'm glad that he made like his that he had a match on Raw last night, because it's like almost everybody forgot about it. Like, where is he? Why is he not getting pushed for a title or anything like that? Bobby Lashley, he was another United States champion.
Yep.
And
It
when
seems like the United States Championship belt is, I hate to say it, is the black belt.
never look at it that way.
Look how many black people have held it.
Not that many. Same thing for the Intercontinental title. Not that many black people hold it that time, but with I think tag teams there wasn't that many either. Well, like I said, you got all these other promotions, and especially in the indies, you have like African American champions,
Yep.
and it seems like WWE is like so far past the times that they don't realize that you need to make some changes, and you need to bring some other audience in there
Okay,
too.
I'm going to read the list of heavyweight champions that there have been, and it's all the way up to the one that we want Kofi to win. So this is starting from 1963 up to present.
Okay.
Okay, and yeah, I agree with what Sean says. They're doing R-Truth very wrong
Oh
now.
yeah, holding the title for 3 weeks, then just having them lose it.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the heavyweight championship people who've held it. Buddy Rogers, Bruno Sammartino, Ivan Koloff, Pedro Morales, Stan Stasiak, Bruno Sammartino, Billy Graham, Bob Backlund, Antonio Inoki,
Japanese wrestler.
vacated, Bob Backlund, it was vacated again, Bob Backlund, Iron Sheik, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Ted DiBiase,
When did Ted DiBiase
It
have
was
the world title?
It was temporary.
February 5th,
They must be
1988.
talking about that one controversial decision.
Yeah.
That happened that one. Okay,
That's what it
Then it
is.
says vacated. Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, The Ultimate Warrior, Sergeant Slaughter, Hogan, Undertaker,
Oh yeah,
Hogan,
Ric Flair.
vacated. Ric Flair, Randy Savage, Ric Flair, Bret Hart, Yokozuna, Hulk Hogan,
Yokozuna.
Yokozuna again.
The first Samoan to ever hold the
Which
world
is why I'm
title.
trying to figure out why he's not in the Hall of Fame yet.
Bret Hart, Bob Backlund, Diesel, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Psycho Sid, Shawn Michaels, vacated. Bret Hart, Psycho Sid, Undertaker, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kane, Stone Cold, then vacated. The Rock, Mankind, The Rock, Mankind, The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Stone Cold, Mankind, Triple H, Vince McMahon. He held it?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Oh, God. Vacated. Triple H, Big Show, Triple H, Jericho, The Rock, Triple H, The Rock, Kurt Angle, The Rock, Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, Stone Cold, Jericho, Triple H, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Undertaker, The Rock, Brock Lesnar, Big Show, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Eddie Guerrero, JBL. I got something in my eye. John Cena, Edge, John Cena, Rob Van Dam, Edge, John Cena, vacated. Orton, Triple H, Edge, Jeff Hardy. Take a look. It's a beautiful one. Edge, Triple H, Randy Orton, Batista, vacated, Randy Orton, John Cena, Randy Orton, John Cena, Sheamus, John Cena, Batista, John Cena, Sheamus, Randy Orton. Are we seeing a trend here? The Miz, John Cena, CM Punk, vacated. Rey Mysterio, John Cena, CM Punk. Alberto Del Rio, John Cena, Alberto Del Rio, CM Punk, The Rock, John Cena, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan, vacated. That was when he had to give it up because of his injury, right?
I think so.
Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan, vacated. John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, vacated. Roman Reigns, Sheamus, Roman Reigns, Triple H, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles, John Cena, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, Jinder Mahal, AJ Styles, and Daniel Bryan. So that's the heavyweight list. Do you know what? I'm gonna kick his ass. Do you see what he's saying?
Yep, I see it.
I should beat his ass. So that is the list of the heavyweight champions. We're not on a belt.
The main one.
The main belt.
The company's belt.
Yeah, The Rock, yes, was mentioned, but The Rock is always mentioned as being Samoan. I'll see what this asshole's going to say. I'm probably not going to be able to bring it down. Oh, I fucking hate this. I can't see what he said. Keep talking while I try to do this.
But yeah, we're talking about people holding, like African Americans holding the main titles. Not the World Heavyweight, not the Universal title. And we're talking about in WWE.
So.
But it's just like she mentioned, like, there's other people that just thinking like, otherwise, like, Rock's black, he won it.
But that to me is like, I don't know, it's a bullshit thing to say because, okay, I'll give you a prime example. You two know my heritage, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like me winning a belt and saying I'm black, though.
Right.
I have to explain my heritage to other people, but I'm not doing that right now. It's not the time or the place. I could not put on any application that I am black. No way, shape, or form. Yeah, I tick other because it really screws people up. And then put European because it's great fun. Because then they say, doesn't that mean white? No, it means I'm European. But what do you identify as?
Who, me?
Yes, you. I just tapped you.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, what do I identify you or something
No,
like that.
you as yourself.
African American.
Okay, the one person in this house who truly is mixed race. What do you identify yourself as?
Well, in society, I would be known as African American because I do have the dark skin complexion.
So, I mean, it's... The Rock chose... Let's be honest, when you look at The Rock, as he does have black in him, it does, to me, he doesn't scream out as being a black man. When you look at him, to me, well, in my opinion, he looks Samoan.
No, yeah, I kind of get what you're saying.
I can't get this to scroll down.
But just like, you can see his dad a little bit in him. And also with, I know he's most likely kind of like the skin complexion and stuff, and a little bit features of his mom, but you see some of his features of his dad too.
Right.
But
oh, what's going on here? I can't even read the comments.
But anyways, I know we've been ranting and raving about that, and I know it ain't gonna be over until at least an African American or
Oh, he
African.
put AJ as a Brock Lesnar fan.
Nah. Not like he's holding the title hostage or anything like that.
I would just like to point out that Sean has just admitted to me that he loves the Hillary Clinton type white women. Revenge. But the fact of it is, we have not had. Let's break it down. We have not had a black man hold the heavyweight championship belt who looks like a black man. Who, when you look at him, you say, "There's a black man."
And like I said, there's a couple of people in WWE that, like Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, they dropped the ball on. It's just like you could put those two or one of them holding the title, and it would have made the fans happy and make the African American audience happy. One of them could have done it, and you dropped the ball.
You're blocking the camera there when you do that.
No, camera's right there.
When you're going like this, no one can see anything but your hands flapping around. But I know what you're saying. When you do stuff, when you've got to make the fans happy, and we go to WWE events. There's a lot of black guys who are there and women who, and especially families who are bringing their kids along.
Right.
Give them somebody to look up to holding a championship belt.
And you can at least get like more of an African American audience too following
God, yes.
if they do this. Well, most likely it looks like they will. But, and I know people was upset with the some of the angle with Kofi Kingston.
Right.
Like what just happened on SmackDown, we were about to say, don't tell me you had to face all of them at the same time. But next week he's going to end up facing, I think it's Samoa Joe, Randy Orton in the bar, and Rowan in a gauntlet match. If he wins it
I
all,
want ice cream.
you're going to make me want one too.
Oh my God.
I didn't say now.
You want one too, Mike?
No, that's okay. If I choose to grab it, I'll probably grab it later.
Ow.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I was trying to keep it open, but you had to go back in there.
There you go. Okay.
So,
Ice cream break.
now that we got that out the way, because they have voiced their opinions very much so, let's move on to a little bit of a lighter side, the Hall of Fame induction. So far, they have, 4 people in there, including one diva.
Like a tag team, a stable.
For those of
and
you
two
out
people.
there, they have DX was the first inductee. China is finally getting her just dues.
Yeah, fine.
Honky Tonk Man, which is revered as the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. I myself am actually very happy of that because it is about time. And they have the Harlem Heat. Booker T would now be in the rankings of two other WWE superstars who will now be holding 2 Hall of Fame rings. And Tori Wilson. I don't see what she's in there for. She really didn't do that much in the Divas division, but I guess they couldn't find anybody else.
She did a lot for the fellas. Let's just put it that way.
I'm talking about ring-wise. She really didn't do all that much.
She was all right.
And what did she do for the men out the back?
Playboy.
That's about it. That's really what she was. To
She was
me
on-
personally,
she was
that's all
on-
she was eye candy.
She was on the cover twice.
To me personally, that's all she really was eye candy. I don't remember anything significant that she did that would have just cause for her to be in the Hall of Fame.
I know she did. She was in WCW for a little bit before they did the
WCW, she was a
Freaking
valet.
pop-ups.
She was
I
a manager
apologize,
at
YouTube
WCW.
people. There's just these pop-ups keep coming up.
As you said, in WCW, she was a manager. She really didn't do much there either. Came over to WWE, pretty much did the same thing. Only difference was she was active in the ring. But to me, she really didn't do anything significant for the Divas division.
Yeah, but
Like, you can name off some of the Divas that are in the Hall of Fame right now, and you can actually say they did something significant, like Trish Stratus. She was like the longest reigning Divas champion.
I mean, women's champion.
Divas, women's, same, all the same thing. Let's see, Sherry Martel. She was the one person that dethroned Fabulous Moolah after having the belt for damn near a decade, and she was very active with the guys also. She managed great champions, Shawn Michaels, Macho Man, Million Dollar Man. She was actually also the manager of Harlem Heat, who are being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. Let's see who else is in their Diva Wise that actually Jacqueline. She was the first African American woman to hold the women's champion.
True.
So Tori Wilson, what did she really do that was even remotely significant to the women's division that made any kind of difference?
I don't know. Did she change the face of the Divas or something? I don't know.
Sable did that. Sunny did that. I don't think either one of them are in the Hall of Fame right now.
Sunny is.
Okay. Sunny was like the first diva, really.
Yeah, I was down there that year.
Sable, I don't know yet. It's weird that she's not even in there. If she is, I apologize for not knowing.
No, she's not in it.
Then how come they didn't choose Sable over Tori Wilson?
I don't know if she still got a grudge against the McMahons or something, but that's the only reason I can think of. Still holding a grudge against the McMahons. Apparently, Vince was sexually harassing her.
And also, with WrestleMania right around the corner,
They better not go through with it.
They better not.
I think we've already discussed this on a prior show, but since it's been a while, I don't really remember. But with WrestleMania being right around the corner, I will ask the two hosts of the show, what were their favorite WrestleMania moments?
Oh God, I think we talked about that already, but moment.
Or can you remember a part of WrestleMania that was really either significant or really hit home when you saw it? I shouldn't even say favorite. So yeah, was there any WrestleMania that you watched and you saw something and you was like, wow, they did it?
Probably when Ahmed Johnson won the Intercontinental Champion for the first time.
What was King of the Ring? That was WrestleMania.
Oh God, that's right.
I was at that one. That one I could really remember.
It had to be the WrestleMania that I went to, which was 27. Like I said, first time see WrestleMania actually. But I probably won't go to another WrestleMania until it's in the Midwest or the West Coast. But anyways.
Okay, the one that just stuffed the ice cream bar in their mouth. Do you have any opinions?
No.
Well, if I would have to bring it up, the one WrestleMania that really hit home, and to this day, for me, it still is that way, would be WrestleMania 6. Why, you may ask? Because it's the first time, it's the only time they've ever done something that nobody saw, that they've never done again, actually. And I'm talking about is the main event. Hogan versus Warrior. Both titles on the line. Both of the top baby faces. Somebody had to win. You have never seen that ever again at a WrestleMania where both single titles were on the line at the same time, and it was both of the top baby faces in a match.
Definitely.
Anything else anybody would like that?
Yeah, we can talk about what match or what moment that disappointed us at WrestleMania. I don't know if everybody's gonna agree with me, but
Anyone that Brock Lesnar has won.
It's
yeah,
only been like two or three.
no, ever since he been winning all his matches from WrestleMania 30 onward. Was he on 29? Think he was on.
Because I don't
He was
remember.
on 20. He was on 29. Just can't remember which match he.
I only
Who did he
remember
win
three
against?
matches that he was ever at WrestleMania. That was him and Kurt Angle, him and Undertaker, and who was that? He won the Universal title. That's the only three
Oh,
times
Goldberg.
I can remember.
Goldberg.
That's the only three WrestleMania times That's the only three times I can remember Brock Lesnar ever being at a WrestleMania.
He faced Roman Reigns twice. He faced Dean Ambrose on one. I know when he didn't have the title. No, Randy Orton was at SummerSlam. There was more. I can't
Why
even.
we talk about the man that don't know how to represent a company in a damn way? I don't know why Vince
The-
decided to sort of belt on him to begin with because he's never there.
Apparently, he's a draw.
No, Paul Heyman is a draw. I'd rather watch Paul Heyman talk than to see Brock Lesnar in a match.
Paul Heyman is hilarious. He's so animated.
Yeah, he is.
And that brings me on to the other thing. Don't you miss the really, really good managers that they used to have? Like Paul Heyman is the epitome of what a good manager should be.
Right.
Oh no, I got
No,
to
hold
disagree
on.
with that one.
I haven't finished yet. Right now. Because
Okay.
there aren't any.
I'm about to say like, ooh,
But we had Paul Bearer.
Mhm.
What's his name? Mouth of the South.
Jimmy Hart.
Yeah. Miss Elizabeth. But you had all those really good ones. Do you know what I mean? Who let's be honest, a lot of them carried the wrestlers who had poor mic skills.
damn, that Bobby Heenan probably was the greatest fucking manager I've ever seen in my life. Bobby Heenan was great. Because not only did he know how to talk for his guys, but then when he got on the mic with Gorilla Monsoon and they did ring announcing, it would. For those of you that watched wrestling in the Attitude Era with Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross, if you know those two announcers really well, they were pretty much, I hate to say this because, Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross, with all due respect, they are great. Jim Ross is like the wrestling encyclopedia. He could bring out stuff about a wrestler that you would probably never know. And Jerry Lawler was just there, just made the comedy of the match that much better. Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon were the first two originals to ever do that. Like they'd be calling a match and just like Bobby Heenan would whip out a one-liner from out of nowhere. You wouldn't even be expecting it. Like one of the ones I remember that Bobby Heenan did that was really funny. It was actually at two events. One was SummerSlam 92. It was a match between Kamala and Undertaker. Now the match ended a DQ, And back in the day, I don't think they don't do it all that much anymore. But back in the day, kind of like to signify a match to have the wrestler stop, they would ring the bell constantly.
Yeah.
Here's Bobby Heenan in the background. They might want to stop ringing that bell. Kamala's gonna think that's the dinner bell. And then it was leading up to that Survivor Series, which was also Kamala Undertaker very first casket match. When Paul Bearer brings out the huge casket that they constructed for Kamala, Bobby Heenan in the background. You go haul freight in a casket.
That's funny, but back to what we were talking about. I think the disappointing moment for me was on WrestleMania 30 when Undertaker's streak was broken.
I think
That's what I said.
everybody
Every
was
time
messed up about that.
Brock Lesnar wins.
Everybody was messed up.
And the
on
thing
that
is that it wasn't so bad because we knew the streak was going to come to an end at some point.
I thought,
But it was who he lost to and how he lost.
I see. They just should have never did that to begin with. They should have just let the Undertaker retire with his streak still intact,
Yup.
and everything would have been rainbows. But
Exactly.
no, they had to choose the one person that Undertaker had never beaten before to end his streak. Undertaker never beat Brock Lesnar, but you're gonna choose him.
he has, but before that time, he hasn't. He has after that.
After one time. Before that, he never beat Brock Lesnar, and yet you're gonna choose Brock Lesnar to break his streak, a streak of which should never have been broken. Because look at all the top stars Undertaker went against before him that never can break it. He went against Triple H twice. He went against Shawn Michaels twice. He went against Batista. He went against Mark Henry. He went against Randy Orton. All these top main people, and yet Ric Flair, and yet you're gonna have Brock Lesnar do it. The man that's not even in the company now. Well, that's in the company, but ain't never there to represent the company.
Yeah, see, that's the other problem people have with like who holds titles and everything.
And especially with the longest time that they hold it too.
Yep.
Like, so and so shouldn't hold it that long, or so and so.
Well, and it's not so
longer.
bad having the person hold it for a long length of time if they're defending it.
Exactly.
Don't you break my poster.
I'm not gonna break this poster.
Better not.
I still to this day don't know why they put the belt back on Brock Lesnar. They would have been cool with keeping it on Goldberg and shit, but still to give it to somebody that ain't never there,
Yeah.
that seems to be more focused on UFC than he is.
And then you see the things that he does when he leaves the ring. Where he has his little hissy fit and throws the belt.
Right.
But you're gonna give it to a guy that ain't never there. He's more concentrated on being a UFC star than being a WWE star, and yet you give him the title. You give him the title to represent the company, and yet he's never there.
But somebody said he's not even irrelevant in UFC
He's
anymore.
not.
Somebody said
I
that.
told you that
anywhere
before.
because he ain't never around.
And found out how much he get paid a year.
How much?
$12 million.
Are you fucking kidding
For
me?
doing nothing.
Yeah, it was on the certain website, but this source could be wrong, but
I doubt it. Because that sounds about right.
$12 million a year.
For doing nothing.
To suck Vince's dick.
Must be a good blowjob. He's paying him that much.
Probably fondles his balls and puts a finger in his ass. Sorry.
Like at least people back then when they had the title, even if when they had it for a long period of time, they were actually there.
And it's because, I mean, let's be honest, if you went on the whole theory of how Brock Lesnar wrestles, Roman Reigns could have held onto his title when he was fighting leukemia.
Exactly.
Build it into a storyline.
Like he can, yeah. Like Brock Lesnar can hold it for a certain amount of months and don't defend it until like a main one of the big 4 pay-per-views. But you have like Roman Reigns, vacate the title.
Yep.
I understand they got the 30-day rule, but they should have do that
But the
with
30-day rule needs to apply to everybody.
right everybody.
You can't, to me, you shouldn't be able to just chop and change the rules because some little prima donna bitch wants to act up and think he's better than everyone.
I'm about to say he would be that. He probably would be a bigger star if he was there at least.
Yep.
Like show up at like all the roles every Monday, or show up to every pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta go like to every house show or whatever.
No, but at least show up for the TV ones.
Exactly.
Or even if you're not there at the TV ones, do at least a couple of times a month, you know?
Right.
No, we can't have that.
Yeah, we can't even have that. Now that's the sad thing. But okay, what did you say your most disappointing thing happened at WrestleMania?
Oh, most disappointing. Let's see here. If I had to go back in time. Besides the streak being broken, let's see here. I'm trying to go back in time for. Let's see. Oh, I got one. I know me people ain't gonna remember this one, but I got one. When Lawrence Taylor beat Bam Bam Bigelow at WrestleMania 11, they built that matchup so much, and the match was garbage as all outdoors.
Was it WrestleMania where they had the that one match that you said was hyped up and then they didn't have time for it, or was that?
Oh yeah, it was WrestleMania 10. They had a 6-man tag team match at WrestleMania 10. Man on a Mission, Bo Oscar Mabel. You may know Mabel as Big Daddy V or as Viscera. He was a part of a clique called Man on a Mission. Now, they had it in the advertisement. Now I know they say cards subject to change, but they had an advertisement. It's supposed to be a 6-man tag team match. They had it on the countdown. Man on a Mission, who made a rap for WrestleMania, had that in the rap, and yet because of a garbage match between Earthquake and Adam Bomb, which had no storyline, no hype whatsoever, went over time limit, they didn't have time for the 6-man tag team match.
You know they kind of did that. What was it? WrestleMania. I think it was before this big old women's movement, which has been going on for a very long time.
Yes, the Divas match.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be a 10-woman tag.
Yeah, and they didn't do that. I remember that.
They had to do it the next night.
Yep.
On Raw.
Oh, they didn't even have the 6-man tag team match. That's right.
Because they had all the women were all ready, weren't they? And then they
Yep.
announced actually on the day they were all ready to go, and then they said there wouldn't be any time for it.
Wait, I was on totally.
And that was like 7 matches they
Yeah.
had at that. I believe they had on that.
Yeah, because
WrestleMania.
we
It was
said that
7
there was
matches.
plenty of time for it.
But that's like one of the. That was WrestleMania. I believe that was WrestleMania 30 because they only had like 7 matches.
Probably.
Like although like the ending with like Daniel Bryan winning was good, but it was just 7 matches.
That's
Yeah.
pretty short for a WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And I think they had like 1 pre-show match, I believe, and that was it.
That's actually really small for a WrestleMania. Only 7 matches.
It was a bad WrestleMania.
Okay, then that must have been the most disappointing WrestleMania.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, it involved with Undertaker's undefeated streak. Daniel Bryan had to fight twice.
Yep.
Like we said, that Diva match never happened. It was just It was kind of like cluster,
It was a clusterfuck. Let's be perfectly honest.
especially you spend like 25 minutes for the opening segment. I understand you have the host Hulk Hogan had to be out there.
Yeah.
Then you had The Rock out there. You had Austin out there, and look at each other. Then decided like drink a beer and
Yeah.
whatever. They could have did that with like a small segment,
Yeah.
like in the back or something.
Okay, should we round up this show then?
Unless there's anything else.
Well, we did forget to talk about the pay per view.
I didn't see
That's
the pay-per-view.
Well, AJ would be the one to tell you more about it than I did. I was watching it, but he was like really into it.
Yeah, I'm surprised I was more into it than the game. Well, the Bucks lost anyway.
That's
but-
because you were more into wrestling than the game.
right. Normally it'll be the game before the wrestling,
Mhm.
but
They didn't see AJ out there cheering for him. They were looking in the camera like, "Where's that one black dude?"
I know. Let him down.
Anyways. Anyways, they made a couple of changes on Fastlane like the last minute. And I'm trying to think. They didn't have no Cruiserweight Championship match, which I'm surprised that they didn't have that.
You know, they ain't even made any hype up for it to even be at WrestleMania. If they either are gonna have a cruiserweight title match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, probably gotta start paying attention to 205 Live more. But they should televise 205 Live. Don't put on. Don't have it be live on a Tuesday. Put it like on a Wednesday or something. That's just my opinion. Wait, and that just had me thought of something. Since SmackDown gonna be moving to Fridays,
Mm-hmm.
what's that gonna mean for 205 Live?
No. Never watched it, so
That's gonna be interesting. We'll see sooner or later. But trying to think what was the it was the New Day versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev, and the New Day won. That was the pre-show.
That was nice to see the Shield back together for one night.
Yeah, I'm surprised but I can understand why they say that for the main event, but I just thought it shouldn't be the main event. I thought the WWE Championship should be the main event, which wasn't. Let's see. They didn't have an Intercontinental Championship because they saved it for Raw the next day, which was yesterday. They had a Fatal 4-Way for the United States Championship,
Yeah, I remember that.
which they did this past Tuesday. And Samoa Joe came in with it. He retained.
Yes, he did.
Let's see what else happened. You got the Charlotte and Becky situation. Ronda interfered, and Becky won her match because of that. And now the WrestleMania Raw Women's Championship match ended up being a triple threat. And my only issue, excuse me, with that match is like, why was the Raw announcing team calling that then? Because they both on the SmackDown brand.
no clue.
There you had the whole incident with Shane McMahon and The Miz.
Oh yeah, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. It was a good match, and the Miz was actually doing things that he normally wouldn't do, like get off the top rope. And like I said, I know some people were complaining about his style in the past, but he was doing something different now. And Usos won it. Shane attacked the Miz right after it.
I forgot they even went against the Usos. He just
Yeah, it was the Usos. Let's see. Triple threat tag team action for the Raw Tag Team Championship. You have Oscar Black, and Ricochet go against Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus the Revival. Bunch of crybabies. But anyways, the crybabies retain.
Just threw that out there.
They are. It's like
How
How you gonna threaten
that
the-
out there?
it just reminds me of what Alberto Del Rio did.
Oh, with the threaten to leave shit.
Yeah, if he ain't champion.
Yep.
Like
It
seriously.
was just funny, like chick driving. Oh boy, that brought you to mind.
Like I would smile in front of your face and get a picture with you, but that don't mean I like you. God, what else happened? No, Braun Strowman wasn't on the pay per view. Oh yeah, the WWE Championship match, which ended up being a triple threat match. Where we'll get to that in a minute. Vince McMahon kind of said that it will be a triple threat match, and it starts right now. So go and get out there. And now he's saying tonight that he's like, y'all confused on what I was saying. So Kofi went out there and thought he was in the championship match. They said the match was scheduled later tonight, and he ended up having to be in a handicap match against the Bar,
which leads us to where we are right now.
and they brutally
Attacked him. We beat him senseless.
Yeah, I must have catch parts of the New Day that they was trying to save him, and Shinsuke and Rusev came out and attacked him. So I must have missed. I must have missed that part because I was paying attention. Like I said, I was trying to pay attention to the game and that at the same time. And the WWE Championship match, it did win up to being a triple threat match, but they added Mustafa Ali into it.
Yeah.
So not bad of a match. But Daniel Bryan ended up retaining
Right.
with some interference from Rowan.
Oh yeah, of course.
Trying to think, did we? Oh yeah, the women's tag team championship.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was on.
The
there.
funny thing is, somebody said like after Sasha and Bailey won against Tamina and Nia Jax, the funny thing was is like this is the first time that Sasha Banks has successfully defended a title. Yeah, I had to laugh at that one. But
How could you not?
trying to think, and I think that's pretty much. Hey, if I missed a match or two, I apologize. I'm just going by what my brain thinking and what I remember. So I apologize about that.
You didn't mention the Shield and.
Oh yeah, Shield and Bobby Lashley, McIntyre, and Baron Corbin.
That was a really good one. That was a main event caliber match. That was actually a really good one.
Yeah, they were like all over the place with stuff. So it was pretty good. Although they said it's the last time the Shield will be together because you got Dean Ambrose contract situation, and they keep on promoting that he's not going to resign after WrestleMania, but it just seems like more and more, and rumors are out there more and more that possibility he might stay.
Besides, I got a question. Besides, since WrestleMania is coming up, besides what they already have on the card, do you think they're, like, in your mind, what match do you think they should promote to bring into WrestleMania?
What do you mean by like promoting the bring?
Like they already got, like, of course, they already got the two title matches, and they have the women's title match. Do you feel there is like a match like that? Like, say for instance, like you want to see somebody go against each other, and they should start. Would you like to see them promote it to put it into WrestleMania because right now they don't have that much of a card right now anyway. I know they still got time, but would there be like a match in your mind you would like to see them promote to have at WrestleMania?
Let's see what the matches they have so far. They have Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. That's one.
The WWE title is still kind of limbo right now.
So it ain't been confirmed yet. So we're just gonna wait until next week to talk about that one. The Raw Women's Championship, which is a triple threat match. You have Batista versus Triple H.
No hold barred.
No.
Which I don't see why they even decide to do that because we know how WWE is now about bloodshed.
It probably won't be bloodshed. It's probably just. Well, then again, who knows? Maybe it will be accidental bloodshed. Because there have been some matches that WWE has done in this era that somebody just ended up bleeding by mistake. Yeah, it happens. Let's see what else. Let's see. They didn't mention the Andre the Giant Battle Royal or the women's battle royal.
I haven't heard about the Andre Battle Royal in a long time. I know they only do it during WrestleMania. But did they even do that last year?
They did it last year. Matt Hardy won. And it was the first time they did it last year for the women, and Naomi won. Who else? I think they just named so many. I know they named 5. I'm just trying to. Kurt Angle's final match at WrestleMania, whoever he's gonna be facing, which we probably ain't gonna know till like days or weeks to come. I think I just named 4, and I'm just thinking there's.
I know you're naming them off, but I was like, is there a match that you would like to see them push for WrestleMania?
Which I know each of them are going to get his own hype, but I'm thinking the one that they should hype the most, that seems like, in my opinion, could be the most important, would be whenever they had an opportunity to do the WWE Championship match. If Kofi isn't going to be in it, then they should promote that a lot more. That's what I think, because history could be made that night. That's what we're hoping, not no screwing, scratching around or anything like that. So that's what we're hoping. So that would be the match, in my opinion, they should hype up the most.
Like pretty much how I was saying is like, if you could choose a match to be at WrestleMania, what would it be?
Choose a match.
Like, who would you like to see go against each other at WrestleMania? Oh yeah, don't they have I don't know. Did you mention Orton and AJ Styles?
Oh yeah, the challenge was laid tonight.
That seemed that's gonna seem like a good one. I don't know. It's just with the two competitors, I guess it's gonna seem like a good one because AJ Styles has been making a name for himself since he's gotten WWE. And with Randy Orton being with his track record, because he did lay in the Orton tonight though. Boy, did he tear him a new one.
Yeah, most likely that match is going to happen. Just a matter of when they're going to actually.
No, that's a match you should be working on. Besides what they're doing with Kofi, of course.
Right, but some odd reason I'm thinking they announced it more, or they. Not sure. They didn't mention anything about the tag titles from either brand.
Which is odd. They didn't mention the Intercontinental title. They didn't mention the U.S. title.
And not even a SmackDown. No, not the SmackDown, but the women's tag team titles. So that's gonna be. And they say it's the potentially that they thinking like the women's gonna have like the total of 5 matches this year. Both
That'd be a
the
lot of a put. That'd
yeah,
be a big push.
it'd be both the championship matches, the tag team championship match, the battle royal, and rumors have it that it's gonna be Beth and Natalia against Tamina and
Oh, so Beth is coming out
Nia
retired
Jax.
before night.
probably for one night. About to say, when I saw her yesterday, she still looks like she's still in shape.
Well, I'm not taking that away from her. I just didn't know she was coming out of retirement for a night.
She kind of came out of retirement a couple of times when they was doing the women's battle royal. I know she didn't do it this year, but she did it last year when they first started. And was she on the? I think she was calling the action from the Evolution pay-per-view. So yeah, she'll be fighting for one night from what it seems like.
Yeah, I think that would about sum it up right there.
Yeah, that probably would sum it up. Yeah. We might be on here next week, or we might be on here no later than before WrestleMania. So just watch out for our posters on Wrestling Fans Speak Out. So WrestlingFansSpeakOut.com. WrestlingFansSpeakOut.weebly.com. Check out for all the updates of events that's going on. Also updates for WFSO Award Show, which will happen Saturday, May 11th, 7 p.m. start time. And we're trying our best to see if the ticket sales on our website is working. So I don't know if it's working or anything, but I'm probably going to test it out myself and just to see if it works or not. Let's see. We're sponsored by Lay's Potato Chips. Go get you some. And we're also sponsored by Dunham Sports, one of our sponsors for this WFSO award show. I know I've been taking a break from putting like some of the awards up, so I'm going to do a couple more this weekend to put up, and that'll be it. And like I said, voting, the last day to vote is March 31st, and some of the winners will be announced during April, and the rest will be announced on the show. And I mentioned about the Icon Award and the Aaron Thomas Award. TC Washington getting the Aaron Thomas Award, and Mike Thompson is getting the Icon Award for the service he does when he was promoting wrestling. He was a wrestler himself. Just all the stuff that he did and stuff that he's doing now. And I think that would probably sum it up too. So we will see you guys next time. So you have a good one and enjoy your wrestling.